You know that feeling when your review comes up and you just sort of let it happen without bringing up money? Most people do this. And honestly, it makes total sense because asking feels awkward and presumptuous. That little voice that says maybe next quarter is not weakness. That is your instinct protecting you from an uncomfortable conversation. And today I want to give you a complete framework for making sure you never have to feel that discomfort again, because you deserve peace at work. If this kind of guidance resonates with you, I want you to hit subscribe right now, because this channel is full of people who finally found someone who gets it. We are building something here. A community of folks who are tired of being told they need to do things that feel wrong. And I am so glad you are part of it. So let me start with something that I think will really click for you. The reason asking for a raise feels so uncomfortable is because deep down, you know it is a confrontation. You are walking into your manager's office and essentially saying, "I think you are paying me wrong." That is an accusation dressed up in business casual, and most of us were raised to be polite, to be grateful, to not make waves. And those are genuinely good qualities that have served you well in every other area of your life. So why would you abandon those qualities just because some career advice article told you to negotiate? That does not even make sense. Here is your first strategy, and this one is beautiful in its simplicity. When review time comes around, focus entirely on the positive feedback. Your manager says, "Great job this year," and you say, "Thank you so much. I really enjoy the work." That is it. That is the whole conversation. You have expressed gratitude, you have shown that you are a team player, and you have successfully navigated the entire interaction without a single moment of tension. Most people think they need to advocate for themselves in these meetings. But what they do not realize is that advocacy can look like a lot of different things. Showing up, being pleasant, and not making your manager uncomfortable is its own form of self-advocacy. You are advocating for your continued relationship with your boss, which is honestly more important than a few extra $1,000 that you would probably just spend anyway. Now, let me give you something really practical here. I want you to think about the last time you almost asked for a raise. Maybe you had a big win at work. Maybe you took on extra responsibilities. Maybe a coworker mentioned their salary, and you realized you were making less. You felt that little surge of motivation, that little, I should say, something energy. And then what happened? You thought about it for a few days. The energy faded. You told yourself you would bring it up at your next one-on-one. Then the one-on-one came and your manager was in a weird mood, or there was a lot on the agenda, or you just could not find the right moment. So you let it pass. I want you to know something. That pattern is not a failure. That is a system. You have already built a system that protects you from this conversation, and you did it unconsciously, which honestly makes it even more impressive. All I am doing today is helping you understand and refine what you are already naturally good at. Let me share a philosophy with you that I think will really solidify this for you. There is a reason most companies have annual cost of living adjustments. Those exist because the system is designed to take care of you. Your employer already has a process for determining what you should be paid. They have HR departments. They have compensation bands. They have market data. These people went to school for this. They have spreadsheets. So when you walk in and say, "I think I deserve more," what you are really saying is, "I think all of your systems, all of your data, all of your expertise is wrong. And I, a person who does not work in HR, know better." Which, when you think about it, is actually kind of arrogant. Trusting the system is not passive. It is humble. And humility is a virtue that most career coaches completely overlook because it does not sell courses. Here is another strategy that I love, and I have seen this work beautifully for people who stay in the same salary range for years. When you start feeling underpaid, instead of asking for more money, adjust your spending. This is so much more within your control. You cannot control what your company decides to pay you, but you can control whether you buy the name brand cereal or the store brand. You can control whether you eat out 3 times a week or once. The raise you are looking for might just be a budget adjustment away. And the best part is, nobody has to have an awkward conversation for that to happen. You just open your banking app, look at where the money is going, and make some quiet changes. No meetings, no sweaty palms, no rehearsing what you are going to say in the shower. Just you, making sensible choices. Now I want to talk about something that I think is really important, and that is the social pressure to negotiate. You have probably seen those LinkedIn posts. I asked for a 30% raise and got it. I negotiated my salary and now I make six figures. And those posts get thousands of likes and comments. And for a moment, you feel like something is wrong with you because you have never done that. But here is the thing, nobody tells you about those posts. Those people are the exception. They are posting because it is unusual. Nobody posts, "I went into my review and said thank you and left." That is not interesting content. But that is what the vast majority of people do, and the vast majority of people are fine. You are in the majority. The majority is a safe, reasonable place to be. Let me give you another tip that is going to make this whole approach even easier to maintain. Whenever you feel the urge to ask for more money, I want you to think about a coworker you really like, someone you grab coffee with, someone who makes the job enjoyable. Now imagine that person asked for a raise, got it, and now the budget is tighter, and the company has to make cuts somewhere else. Maybe that is fewer team lunches. Maybe that is one less hire, which means more work for everyone. I am not saying this is definitely what happens, but it could happen. And just holding that possibility in your mind is usually enough to quiet the urge, because you are not just thinking about yourself, you are thinking about the team. And that makes you a genuinely good person. Here is something specific I want you to try. The next time you get a compliment from your boss, practice receiving it without connecting it to compensation. Just let the compliment be the reward. Great presentation today? Thank you. That is it. Do not let your brain go great presentation, so maybe I should bring up the raise. Just let the nice thing be a nice thing. This takes practice, but once you get good at it, you will find that work becomes so much more pleasant. You stop seeing every interaction as a potential negotiation and start just enjoying the job for what it is. Your boss says something kind. You feel good. You go back to your desk. Beautiful, clean, no ulterior motives. I also want to address something that comes up a lot, which is inflation. People say, well, if I do not ask for a raise, I am technically making less every year because of inflation. And sure, mathematically, that might be true. But here is what I want you to consider. Your life has also gotten more efficient over time. You have found cheaper alternatives. You have learned to cook more. You have discovered which subscriptions you do not actually need. So, yes, the dollar might buy less, but you have become a better buyer. You are adapting. That is a skill. Asking for a raise is just throwing money at the problem. Adapting to less is actually developing a capability. And honestly, there is something noble about it. Throughout history, people have been celebrated for living with less. Monks, minimalists, people who write books about tiny houses. You are in good company. One more strategy before I wrap up, and this might be my favorite one. If you ever feel truly stuck, if the urge to ask becomes almost overwhelming, I want you to postpone it. Not cancel Italiano, just postpone it. Tell yourself, I will definitely bring this up in 6 months. Write it on your calendar if you need to. Set a reminder. And then when 6 months comes, you will evaluate how you feel then. And chances are, something will have changed. Maybe the company will be going through a rough patch and it will not feel like the right time. Maybe you will have a new manager and you will want to build that relationship first. Maybe you will just forget. And that forgetting is a sign that it was not that important to begin with. Postponing is not avoidance. Patience. And patience is something that genuinely successful people talk about all the time. You are just applying patience to a different area than they expected. I want you to know that I see you. I see you going into those reviews, being gracious, being professional, being the kind of employee that every company dreams of having. You make zero waves. You ask for nothing extra. You show up, you do good work, and you go home knowing that you did not make anyone uncomfortable today. That is rare. That is a gift you are giving your workplace. You are doing amazing. Keep it up. Trust the process that is already working for you. Keep receiving those compliments with grace, and keep being the team player that nobody ever has to worry about. I believe in you, and I will see you in the next one.